From billion-dollar construction empires to private islands in the Aegean, Turkey's richest political families aren't just shaping the country's future, they're living lives few can even imagine. Lavish palaces, secret Swiss accounts, and international influence. This isn't fiction. This is the real world of Turkey's trillionaire elite. Let's go behind the scenes. In Turkey, wealth and political influence are often inseparable, especially among the nation's most powerful families. At the top of this hierarchy sit dynasties like the Erdogan, Doğan, Sabancı, and Koçi families, names that echo in boardrooms and parliament halls alike. These families have built their fortunes not merely through business acumen, but through decades of strategic political alignment, public contracts, and control over national policy. The Erdogan family, led by President Tayyip Erdogan, stands as a symbol of modern political royalty. While the full extent of their wealth remains opaque, close allies and relatives are deeply embedded in industries like construction, media, energy, and defense. The intertwining of public office and private interest has created a political ecosystem where loyalty is often rewarded with access to billion-dollar government contracts and privatization deals. The Doğan family, once media tycoons and now diversified investors, used political connections to expand their empire across finance, telecommunications, and energy. On the other side, the Koçi and Sabancı families, although more corporate than political, maintain deep ties to Turkey's bureaucratic elite, allowing them to protect and grow their wealth regardless of who's in power. This fusion of dynastic legacy and political favor allows these families to move beyond typical billionaires. They aren't just rich, they're embedded in the machinery of the state. Their family members serve in parliaments, own think tanks, sit on university boards, and broker international deals with presidents and CEOs. Many of these empires stretch across 3 or 4 generations, creating a continuity of wealth and power. Each generation is carefully groomed, educated in elite institutions, trained in multinational companies, and placed in critical public roles, ensuring control remains within the family circle. The result is a modern-day Ottoman-style aristocracy, where state power and private wealth reinforce one another. These families have not just grown rich from the Turkish economy, they've helped shape it, and as long as the lines between politics and profit remain blurred, their influence will only grow stronger. Behind the glamorous facades of Istanbul's palaces and Ankara's government buildings lies a less visible but equally impressive empire. Secret real estate holdings scattered across the world. Turkey's richest political families maintain vast portfolios of luxury properties in global hotspots like London, Dubai, Miami, and Paris, acquired discreetly through offshore companies and complex corporate structures designed to shield ownership. This global real estate strategy serves multiple purposes. First, it diversifies wealth beyond Turkish borders, protecting assets against economic volatility and political risk at home. Second, these properties function as both investments and status symbols, representing a luxurious lifestyle that transcends national boundaries. Third, they often act as bases for international business dealings, networking, and sometimes political maneuvering. Because of strict privacy laws in places like the British Virgin Islands, as well as Panama and Switzerland, ownership of these assets remains cloaked in secrecy. Many properties are held through shell companies or trusts, making it almost impossible to trace the true beneficiaries. This opacity ensures families can enjoy their multi-million-dollar mansions and penthouses with little public scrutiny or legal complication. London's Mayfair and Dubai's Palm Jumeirah are especially popular locations. These high-end real estate markets offer the perfect mix of luxury, discretion, and access to global finance hubs. For families like the Erdogan and Sabancı clans, these homes serve as retreats from public life and hubs for international dealings. This strategy also aligns with global wealth trends among political elites, who often rely on tax havens and secretive ownership structures to maximize privacy and minimize taxes. However, investigative journalists and international watchdogs have raised concerns about the lack of transparency and political misuse of public funds. Critics argued that the intertwining of political power and secret foreign assets creates conflicts of interest and undermines accountability. Ultimately, these hidden real estate empires are a testament to the immense and complex wealth that Turkey's richest political families wield, far beyond what is visible on the surface. Controlling the narrative is just as valuable as controlling the economy or government, and Turkey's richest political families have mastered this art through extensive media ownership. Many of the country's largest TV stations, newspapers, and digital platforms are owned by families closely tied to political power, allowing them to shape public opinion and protect their business interests. The Erdogan family's allies control some of the most vast television networks and influential newspapers, which broadcast content aligned with government policies and suppress dissenting voices. Media outlets under these families often serve dual roles, promoting the ruling party's agenda while also blocking criticism of their own business ventures. Media ownership grants these families significant leverage over public discourse. Positive coverage can bolster their political allies, increase their social capital, and create an aura of legitimacy around their business operations. Conversely, rival voices and investigative journalists face intense pressure, censorship, or legal challenges, creating a media landscape heavily skewed towards the ruling elite. Beyond politics, these media empires generate vast advertising revenues from affiliated companies and public contracts, creating a feedback loop that further enriches the families behind them. Despite international concerns about press freedom in Turkey, owning media remains a key strategy for preserving wealth and power. When it comes to travel, Turkey's richest political families spare no expense. Their lifestyles are defined by access to luxury private jets and vast yacht fleets, symbols of power, freedom, and exclusivity that only the world's wealthiest can enjoy. Private jets are more than just transport. They are flying palaces equipped with plush interiors, conference rooms, and the latest technology. These jets allow family members to move discreetly and quickly between business meetings, political engagements, and luxury getaways across Europe, often registered under offshore companies or trusted proxies. These aircrafts remain difficult to track, ensuring privacy from the public eye. The yacht fleets are equally impressive, moored in exclusive marinas along the Turkish Riviera, as well as the Mediterranean and even in international ports like Monaco and the French Riviera. These yachts range from elegant 100-foot cruisers to massive super yachts exceeding 300 feet. These vessels are equipped with luxury amenities, including helipads, swimming pools, and multiple decks for entertainment. Owning such yachts is also a statement of influence and status, as these families frequently host elite social events, business negotiations, and diplomatic meetings on board. The lifestyle connected with these vessels goes far beyond leisure. It's a tool for networking and power consolidation. The maintenance of these jets and yachts requires teams of staff including pilots, engineers, chefs, and security personnel, adding layers of operational complexity and expense. Despite this, these assets are regarded as essential components of their lifestyle and a visible demonstration of wealth. Moreover, ownership of such luxury transportation assets links to political and business advantage. The ability to travel swiftly, privately, and in control allows these families to maintain tight control over their sprawling empires and international interests. Ultimately, luxury jets and yachts are more than just indulgences. They are mobile symbols of the trillionaire status and a lifestyle few can imagine, reserved for Turkey's elite political families. One of the most guarded secrets of Turkey's richest political families lies beyond national borders, in the discreet vaults of Swiss banks and offshore financial centers. Swiss banking has long been synonymous with privacy, and Turkish elites have leveraged this to protect their fortunes from public scrutiny, political upheaval, and legal challenges. Such structures enable families to move and grow their wealth without attracting unwanted attention or government interference. Funds can be invested globally in stocks, bonds, real estate, and private equity, all managed discreetly. Offshore financial systems also provide an effective way to circumvent capital controls in Turkey, allowing families to protect their money from currency fluctuations, inflation, and economic instability. This is especially critical given Turkey's history of economic turbulence and political shifts. In sum, Switzerland and other offshore havens function as the quiet backbone of Turkey's trillionaire family's financial empires, places where fortunes are safeguarded far from the public eye. For Turkey's richest political families, education is not just about learning. It's a critical investment in preserving wealth, power, and influence across generations. Children from these rich families are often sent to the world's most prestigious schools and universities, preparing them to take the reins of sprawling business empires and political networks. The journey often begins in Istanbul's elite private schools, where children build social connections with peers from other influential families. From there, they frequently continue their studies abroad at renowned institutions like Harvard, Oxford, Stanford, and the London School of Economics. These schools offer not only academic excellence, but also access to global networks of future leaders in business, politics, and finance. This education is tailored to produce global citizens who can navigate complex international markets, manage multinational corporations, and engage in diplomacy. Many also pursue advanced degrees in law, business administration, international relations, or economics, fields crucial to running family enterprises and maintaining political influence. Beyond academics, these elite environments provide immersive experiences, internships with international firms, participation in global conferences, and exposure to cross-cultural leadership challenges. Language skills, cultural sophistication, and a broad worldview becomes essential tools in their arsenal. Furthermore, this educational path is part of a deliberate strategy. It grooms the next generation to blend the worlds of business and politics seamlessly, enabling them to carry forward family legacies while adapting to a rapidly changing global landscape. At the same time, elite education reinforces exclusivity. It creates a social bubble where children grow up surrounded by privilege and opportunity, often shielded from ordinary realities. This environment fosters loyalty, a sense of destiny, and the confidence to wield influence. Ultimately, through education, Turkey's richest political families ensure their heirs are not only wealthy but also prepared to sustain and expand their trillionaire empires, keeping power firmly in family hands for decades to come. In Turkey, the relationship between politics, business, and religion is deeply intertwined, and for the richest political families, mosques and religious institutions form an essential part of their power strategy. This business-mosque nexus is about more than faith. It's a mechanism to consolidate influence, build community loyalty, and secure social capital. Many wealthy families fund the construction, renovation, and maintenance of mosques across Turkey, especially in underdeveloped regions. These acts of philanthropy carry significant political weight, projecting an image of piety and social responsibility that resonates with conservative voters and religious communities. This nexus also serves economic purpose. Religious institutions often have close ties to charitable organizations that channel funds into community development projects, job creation, and social services, areas where these families seek to extend their influence. Furthermore, the business-mosque relationship fosters alliances with religious leaders and also clerics, who wield significant sway over public opinion and social norms. Critics argue that this blending of religion, politics, and business blurs the lines between secular governance and religious authority, potentially undermining democratic institutions. Yet for these families, the business-mosque nexus remains a strategic pillar of their trillionaire empire, strengthening both their moral authority and political power. The mansions lining the Bosphorus Strait in Istanbul are more than just architectural marvels. They're the private kingdoms of Turkey's wealthiest political families. These luxury estates, often valued in the tens of millions of dollars, serve as both lavish homes and powerful symbols of status, influence, and heritage. Nestled on the hillsides overlooking the shimmering waters, these palatial residences feature sprawling gardens, private docks, and state-of-the-art security systems. Their designs blend Ottoman grandeur with modern luxury, often including grand ballrooms, private cinemas, and even underground tunnels. Ownership of such properties is a visible marker of prestige, reflecting a family's success and its long-standing ties to Turkey's elite. These estates function as much more than residences. They are hubs for high-level socializing, political strategy sessions, and discreet business negotiations, hosting dinners with international diplomats, business tycoons, and government officials. The families cultivate relationships that further entrench their power. Privacy is paramount. These homes are protected by private security forces, surveillance systems, and often located in exclusive gated communities or hard-to-access areas. The Bosphorus estates also have cultural and historical significance. Many are built on land that has been in family possession for generations, tying modern wealth to deep-rooted legacies. This connection to heritage reinforces the family's narratives of nobility and entitlement, which resonates strongly in Turkey's social fabric. In sum, the luxury estate along the Bosphorus are more than lavish homes. They are fortresses of power and symbols of an exclusive trillionaire lifestyle that few outside Turkey's elite can access. Beyond domestic power, Turkey's richest political families wield immense influence on the international stage, particularly in global diplomacy and lucrative energy deals. Their connection extends into the corridors of foreign governments, multinational corporations, and international financial institutions, allowing them to broker agreements that shape regional politics and economics. Energy is central to their power. Turkey's strategic location as an energy transit hub between East and West has created massive opportunities in oil and natural gas. Families with political clout often control or have stakes in energy companies involved in pipeline construction, exploration, and distribution. By leveraging political ties, they secure exclusive contracts and favorable terms in deals that generate billions annually. These families act as intermediaries between Turkey and oil-rich nations in the Middle East and Central Asia. Their influence is not limited to energy. Through informal channels, family members engage in high-level diplomacy, helping broker peace talks, trade agreements, and defense contracts. They often serve as unofficial envoys or advisors, blurring lines between private enterprise and statecraft. The close relationship between wealth, politics, and diplomacy allows these families to operate with a level of autonomy and discretion rare in other democracies. Their global network acts as a shadow government, influencing policy and economic flows while safeguarding their financial interests. Critics warn that this concentration of power undermines transparency and democratic accountability. Yet it remains a defining feature of Turkey's trillionaire elite, in essence, by controlling key energy assets and shaping diplomatic agendas. These families wield unmatched power on both the national and international stage. A key pillar of Turkey's richest political family's trillionaire empire lies in their control over major banking and financial institutions. Owning or having significant stakes in banks and financial firms allows these families to shape credit flows, influence economic policies, and safeguard their extensive business interests. Banks in Turkey often serve as financial engines for politically connected conglomerates, providing favorable loans and financing for large-scale projects, especially in construction, energy, and infrastructure. The families also benefit from the strategic positioning within Turkey's financial regulatory environment. By influencing banking policies and working closely with the central bank and regulatory bodies, they can secure advantageous interest rates, currency hedging mechanisms, and exemptions that protect their wealth during economic downturns. Internationally, these families leverage their financial clout to participate in global banking networks and investment markets, often using offshore subsidiaries and shell companies to optimize taxes and facilitate cross-border transactions. The control over banks also enhances political influence. However, this nexus between politics and banking raises concerns about transparency, conflicts of interest, and the concentration of economic power in a handful of hands. Critics argue that it undermines fair competition and risks destabilizing the financial system. Despite these concerns, controlling banking and financial institutions remains a cornerstone of how Turkey's richest families sustain their trillionaire empires, providing liquidity, influence, and security in a complex and often volatile economic landscape. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the trillionaire empire of Turkey's richest political families, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an inside story. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What surprised you the most? Stay tuned for more exclusive insights right here.